a small newsroom in Texas, a journalist named Serenity sits at her desk, flipping through an article with a headline that stops her cold. Will AI replace journalists? She's not alone in her worry. Around the world, professionals in every industry are asking the same question. But in Serenity's case, the fear cuts deep. Storytelling is her calling. Investigating, connecting the dots, chasing truth. It's what she does best. And now, that very process is being digitized, automated, maybe even replaced. But what exactly is this wave sweeping across her industry? It starts with big data, massive volumes of information generated by our online lives. Every click, every comment, every headline we read feeds the machine. Big data isn't just numbers. It's behavior, it's patterns, it's insight. And in journalism, it's gold. From understanding what readers care about to predicting which topics will trend before they even surface, big data gives media professionals a new kind of radar. Editors no longer rely solely on gut feeling. They use dashboards, heat maps, and predictive analytics to guide coverage. At first, Serenity resists. Data feels cold, clinical, but she discovers it's not about replacing intuition, it's about amplifying it. Then comes artificial intelligence. Unlike big data, which describes what's happening, AI can sort information, detect bias, transcribe interviews, even summarize complex documents in seconds. It's not just a tool, it's an assistant. A tireless, emotionless, lightning-fast assistant. She experiments. An AI transcription app cuts her editing time in half. A language model helps translate interviews across borders. A data visualization tool turns dry statistics into compelling, interactive stories. Instead of being replaced, Serenity is evolving. She starts thinking bigger. What if AI helps her break stories faster? What if data points her toward corruption no one else has noticed? What if she could build a platform that curates niche, investigative journalism using AI curation? The fear hasn't disappeared, but now it's mixed with something else, possibility. Because the truth is, AI and big data aren't here to steal stories. They're here to help tell them better, faster, deeper. And Serenity? She's not just surviving the shift, she's riding the wave. If you found this episode helpful, give it a like, hit subscribe, and check out the show notes for links to tools, tips, and further reading on how to future-proof your own career, just like Serenity. Serenity is no longer intimidated by the buzzwords. Big data doesn't scare her. Artificial intelligence doesn't feel like science fiction anymore. But now she's going deeper into the engine room of modern AI, machine learning. The journey begins with a deceptively simple question. How does a machine learn? She's introduced to logistic regression, one of the most classic methods. Clean, mathematical, reliable. It draws lines through data, sorting inputs into categories. Spam or not spam. Click or no click. True or false. It's like a very logical bouncer at the club, letting data into the right bucket. But as Serenity looks around, she realizes the world isn't always binary. Real problems aren't yes or no. They're shaded in nuance, messy in form. Enter neural networks. Inspired by the human brain, neural nets are layered structures that allow machines to discover patterns too complex for traditional models. Serenity learns about deep learning, neural networks on a grand scale, capable of translating languages, detecting tumors, even generating poetry. The idea excites her and unnerves her, because these systems don't just follow instructions, they evolve. But here's the catch. More layers don't always mean more power. Deep learning has limitations. It needs huge amounts of data. It demands high-end hardware. And often, it's a black box. The why behind its answers can be murky. To understand how good a model really is, Serenity studies loss functions, tools that measure how far off a prediction is from reality. She sees that every model, no matter how sophisticated, makes mistakes. The goal isn't perfection, it's minimizing loss. There are trade-offs too. Choose one loss function, you might get precision. Choose another, you get generalization. It's like choosing the lens for a camera, sharpness or depth, but rarely both. She dives into evaluating ML performance, using metrics like accuracy, recall, and precision. But metrics only matter if your data is good. That brings her to a sobering truth. Garbage in, garbage out. Serenity learns about training data, where it comes from, how to label it, how to avoid bias. She uncovers the dangers of overfitting, when a model memorizes noise instead of learning patterns. It's like quoting every sentence from a textbook without understanding the subject. To fight this, she explores feature engineering, selecting and shaping the right inputs. It's part science, part art, and when done well, it can make even a simple model outperform a deep one. By the end of the week, Serenity isn't just watching the machines learn. She's learning how to teach them, not as a data scientist, not yet, but as a journalist, one with questions sharper than ever and tools to get better answers. If you found value in this episode, hit like, subscribe, and check the show notes for deeper dives into machine learning, tools for beginners, and resources to build your own AI literacy. See you in the next one. Words have always been Serenity's domain. Headlines, interviews, essays. Language is how she tells the truth. But now, for the first time, she's not just writing for people. She's learning to communicate with machines. The world she's entered is called natural language processing, or NLP. It's how machines learn to read, understand, and even generate human language. She explores how ML models parse grammar, detect sentiment, translate languages, and summarize articles. In other words, how they do the job of a journalist. Terrifying if it weren't so fascinating. Then comes a twist: generative AI. Serenity meets GANs, generative adversarial networks. These are two neural networks in a constant duel. One creates fake data, the other tries to detect the fake. It's a feedback loop that sharpens both sides, eventually producing stunningly realistic results, from images to voices to whole articles. She also explores VAEs, or variational autoencoders, models that compress information, then regenerate it with variation. Serenity realizes this is more than just machine mimicry, it's machine imagination. But what about people who can't code, or don't want to? That's where AutoML comes in. Instead of hand-tuning every setting, Serenity sees how AutoML automates the boring technical parts: model selection, feature engineering, hyperparameter tuning, freeing her to focus on the big questions. She tries it. She's not a programmer, but suddenly she's building models. And the results? Surprisingly strong. Then she opens something called Teachable Machine. It's a no-code tool built by Google. Friendly, drag and drop, almost playful. She uses her webcam to teach it to recognize hand gestures. In minutes, she's created an ML model. No Python, no math, just input, output, and a whole new sense of possibility. She even opens TensorFlow Playground, another visual tool that lets her see how neural networks work in real time. It's like watching neurons fire in a digital brain. And yet, Serenity sees the challenge. This is all amazing, but real-world use is messy. Data breaks, models drift, systems need constant tuning. Welcome to ML operations, the unglamorous but essential work of maintaining AI in production. It's the chicken and egg problem of AI. You need clean data to train a good model, but you need a good model to help clean the data. Still, for Serenity, this isn't a dead end. It's a turning point. Because what started as fear that AI would replace her, is turning into something else entirely: understanding, empowerment, creativity. Serenity is no longer just a journalist. She's a bridge between worlds. If you're learning along with Serenity, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for the final chapter, and check the show notes for links to AutoML tools, Teachable Machine, and more resources for building your own no-code ML projects. The final leg of Serenity's journey doesn't begin with code. It begins with a question: how can machines be creative? The answer lies in generative AI, the branch of artificial intelligence not just trained to analyze, but to generate text, images, code, music, even video. Serenity learns that generative models don't work like search engines. They make predictions, word by word, pixel by pixel, based on massive datasets and mathematical probability. Each sentence they write, never written before. At the heart of this are large language models, or LLMs. Serenity peers inside the architecture, discovering how these models are trained on terabytes of human text. They aren't thinking. They're transforming input into output using billions of parameters and complex attention mechanisms. Next, she dives into the generative AI stack. At the bottom, infrastructure, hardware, and data. Then, foundation models, massive pre-trained models like GPT or Claude. And finally, apps and services built on top of these models, custom layers of intelligence tailored for specific tasks. This is where the business potential hits her. A company that fine-tunes a foundation model for a niche market, law, finance, journalism, can deliver powerful tools without having to build a model from scratch. That's how you differentiate. That's how you win. But power like this also brings disruption. Serenity reads recent studies and learns the sobering truth. Generative AI can replace tasks, and in some cases, even whole jobs. But the research also shows another side. Humans working with AI can be twice as productive as those without. The key isn't competition, it's collaboration. To unlock that power, Serenity studies prompt engineering, the art of asking the right questions. Clear instructions mean clearer answers. Specific context leads to specific insight. She experiments with tone, structure, constraints. And the results? Sharper, more relevant output, ready to publish, pitch, or present. By the end of this journey, Serenity no longer sees AI as a threat. She sees it as an ally, a tremendously powerful weapon in her arsenal, not just to automate tasks or polish prose, but to sharpen her voice in the fight against societal injustices, to uncover truths faster, dig deeper, and shine a light where others can't. And beyond the newsroom, she sees the potential to get ahead, to stand out in a fiercely competitive landscape and rise to the top of her field. AI isn't replacing her, it's amplifying her. And if you're ready to do the same, don't stop here. Check out our upcoming videos where we explore real-life examples of how people are using AI to advance their careers and make more money across industries, roles, and creative paths. Hit like, subscribe, and dive into the show notes for resources, tools, and ways to begin your transformation. The future's not waiting. Neither should you.